So this happened to me a few years back when I was in college and living away from home. I had myself this cozy little apartment that was like 10 minutes away from where I went to school. Of course, given how hectic my schedule was, there were times that I'd really barely be at home at all and pretty much only go back to my place to sleep. I mean, I did live alone, so it's not like there was much to come home to anyway. So what happened was, there was this one night where I came home just exhausted as always, and I just basically melted into my bed. And as I was lying there half passed out, I noticed something odd just a few feet away from my bed, on the floor. I dragged myself to it, and I realized that it was an SD card, which was a little bit odd because I knew it wasn't mine. Now, that itself should have alarmed me a little bit more, I know, but I figured that it was just left behind by previous tenants or something, and maybe I just didn't notice somehow. I was just way too tired at the time to care. So I waited till the next morning, and then I decided to pop the card into my laptop just for the hell of it, just to see what's on it. I figured I could use one anyway, so I might as well test to see if it works, right? The card had several scenic photos on it of stuff like the neighborhood and plants and stuff like that. The type of stuff that amateur photographers take when they're bored or out of ideas. Other than that, there was a video. And of course, I was expecting it to be similar to the pictures, but it just wasn't. The video was an extreme close-up of a man playing peekaboo at the camera. I really couldn't make out where he was since all that was on the screen was pretty much his face. Like, that's how zoomed in it was. He didn't exactly look creepy per se. I think he was maybe in his mid-40s or something like that. And of course, I am a woman and I was living alone, so I know that these things should give me the creeps, but again, I really just thought it was some nonsense left behind by previous tenants. After a few seconds, I closed out the video and just went on with my life. So a few days later, I had this friend over, and we decided to take a break from our movie marathon so I could show him the card and the video I found on it. I'd been telling him about it earlier that day, and I told him I thought it was nothing, but of course, he really wanted to see it, so I figured just show him anyway. So this is the part where things changed for me. Because like I said, I really only watched the first few seconds of the video before writing it off as nonsense. I sat there and watched the rest of the video, and a part of me really wishes I hadn't. So there I saw the familiar peekaboo game from last time. It seemed to drag on, almost like it was being looped. And then after about a minute, the camera started to slowly zoom out and expose the background. He was in my apartment. And no, I don't mean that he used to live in my apartment before me. I mean he was sitting in my apartment on my couch with my stuff in the background. When I realized, there was just this unbearable silence that filled the room, and my friend and I just stared at each other speechless. So I, of course, decided to move out as soon as I could, but before that, my friend and I decided to take a thorough search of the apartment to see if we could find any clues, like anything at all. And we found nothing. I, of course, don't live there anymore, but I still have trouble sleeping at night thinking about how someone managed to get into my home and leave without leaving any traces of ever being there. I mean, there's no way for me to even tell really how many times he broke in or if he was there when I was home.